They have to be in different areas so that not all three get.
Right.
So we could be responsible for paying off their churches. And all of that has to fall under the insurance commission.
Correct, they have to approve it,
Yeah.
so that's not going to.
For a line numbers and
We couldn't on where the county costs.
I think they can, when the people start clicking on them, start seeing names.
Right. We'll look at a little square box.
Yeah.
You got a sign in sheet tonight or no?
Yes, we do.
No, as a matter of fact.
It was one.
Sign in sheet, the last
Maybe,
it was on the middle box that I got.
I mean,
Oh, thank you. I came. He had it and I came back and looked around to see it.
That's one. I saw that there.
Oh, there was a short thing.
I don't know. Stop.
Sign in sheet. Somebody else comes in, you can pass it on to them.
Where the biggest in secretary.
No, it's still fine. Still fine. Good. So where's the one? I was on didn't hear a surprise. It's gonna be.
hey, Rick, it's Mark. Oh, thank God. Very good. Thank you. All right. You too. Thanks for that.
Inside. It's a bit of a over. And then living like that. You know, we got a house on it. So water, that hey. There's the kind of sugar that drugs that have been good. And then what I use. Right. People would have a good zone. Doesn't matter if all of the insurance will not cover your house is flipping away. And the company will turn the whole summer. Yeah, storms coming in. And it brings your carpet or it's tile or tile, carpet, furniture. No insurance doing in the fact. Really felt like a lot of penny for just something like that. Hey, you're back. Yeah, good.
How was your trip?
That was good. Once again, it was cold and wet.
Hey, John.
Yes, it's he's a regular. We just talked to Mr. Brown. He's kind of pretty serious. He's trying to do
Bob. Bob. I want to address your questions. No, sit, relax. There's no test or anything.
Okay.
I want to address your question first before we even start the meetings for all the other stuff. Previously, you had asked us about doing the expansion on your place upstairs.
Yeah.
The board had said, yes, you could. However, you need to provide all the necessary documentation. So you gave me this, which is the one that you drew, explaining what you wanted to have done. And then you included this, which is the one that Mr. Lyon signed off on when I got my proof. That may be the only thing you see in the file here. However, they have an entire file that thick that is, before I could even start doing it, I had to submit. Okay, we just need, the board said, yes, you can. And then, yes, we started that before, but I guess maybe it wasn't relayed properly. Yes, you can. Station to do it. Just blueprints and then play a contractor, the whole shooting match.
Actually, get from my file, so I can say, hey, it's approved. I'm not gonna go meet with the architect, it's a plan, you'll be happy with the plans, I want, to move the place.
You can show them. Don't knock yourself out.
Which really is.
And inspections, even when.
Photocopy with Mr. Bland's signature is the only thing that's in the record for signing off on. That's the reason why I didn't know study it. You see. And I just want to make sure that I have the approval. This is already approval to do that based on this. You know, from the
Cover our thumbing.
No, I think
Oh, maybe
Hi.
I reckon.
They can't,
Hey, are you here? Are, okay, are you gonna call in? Oh, okay, I'll leave you on my phone then, not a problem, okay. Scott is in my phone. Okay.
You shrunk them down, huh?
all right. Here we are. Here we go. Meeting is called to order.
Can I have you rewind for a second?
I'm sorry, what?
Can I have you rewind that for just a second?
Rewind it?
Wants to record it.
The meeting is called to order at 6:46. Welcome. We are planning to work on the insurance tonight. But we have been called to order. We have a proof of notice. And we have a quorum of officers, including Scott in the phone. He's here. And so we Mark, you said that the minutes from the previous meeting weren't quite ready. Okay. That's all right, we'll have another meeting. Never fear. And, is there anybody here who's new that, would you like to stand up and we could welcome you?
I'm not leaving, I live for more time, I'm instead of the one, Richard, that's from one nine. But it is. She's got on one here, one of the resident here, 1976, so, she's one of the oldest ones here, other than Mr. Bear, Dr. Bear, and he was older than us. But, my mother passed away in '05, I took over, you know, and inherited much, and, so, here we are.
I thought it only took you 20 years to do it. Welcome.
Yeah, we did that into a couple of things, you know, when we get down, if you might want to work with that. Yeah, we're doing nice.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks at the beginning.
Okay. I would like to start out with our vision statement. Our vision statement is to cultivate an environment where every homeowner feels a sense of pride in their residence, fostering a neighborhood where people know each other, support one another, and participate in our community. To provide management and directors that ensure our residents have questions and concerns acted upon in a timely manner, and managing upkeep and safety issues that increase property values, with every member working together for the good of the entire community. The next vision.
Thank you, Rick. For the vision.
Great. Our old business is about our wind insurance. Our discussion ran for 2.5 hours a few minutes ago, so we tabled it. And tonight we're having our insurance broker Mike Moore here to answer all questions about wind coverage, and then we'll make a decision what we need to do. Scott Becker. Frontline.
There's a second.
Do we want a second now, or do we want to?
We want to wait for.
Then have a start. Yeah,
Okay,
it doesn't mean you go back, it goes to discussion.
Could you repeat that question?
second.
Discussion.
Now we have discussion.
Now, now for the.
Right, would you like to do your presentation and?
I have to, where does it say that in our bylaws, we have to have wind insurance? I saw the comment, that's because I just started mentioning wind.
Yeah, it does. Have it right here.
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Now.
It says, including but not limited to vandalism, malicious mischief, windstorm, and water damage.
This is the desperation, I believe.
Mhm.
You know, it's not the bylaws.
Yeah, but that supersedes the bylaw.
I'm just saying, it's gotta go to the bylaws.
Well,
You have what it says, it says time from time to time, but it's broken.
But it does say from such other risk as from time to time shall be covered, including but not limited to windstorm. This does not excuse us from getting windstorm coverage for the people who live here.
At what cost did we keep our home? It's just like, if it's gonna cost us $5 million and we have to buy.
No,
Okay, so when will we stop?
well, we purchased it in March of 23 for $217,000. That was
Our decision.
the word of the
Never
rate.
happened. That was a stupid decision. You gave $217,000 away. We had a $900,000 deductible. You just gave
We were following the requirements. I wasn't even here then, but
the board of education, actually, you know, what the congregation wants. Okay, if you can't make a decision, it's best for this condominium.
that's
You
what
can't
we're
make
here
when
for.
you get one $217,000.
Calm down.
Okay.
That was done in the past. That's not what we're looking at right now.
Prior to that, it was approximately $30,000 a year for the wind insurance.
Right.
It went from 217, now it's down to 65. That particular hyperinflationary period was after a couple of hurricanes wiped out a bunch of places here in Florida, and what happened down in Bell Harbor with the collapse of the condo down there. All the insurance companies went back to the table and looked and said, this is what we gotta charge.
Okay, well, here's the thing, the state of Florida in 2014, at that time, we didn't come up with it.
They said,
If they went to a percent on 30,000, that would be, we paid 34,000, which would be a big deal. But you're just telling me now, and that's 225% increase.
what happened is the state has got a certain percentage that they can increase. And if they choose not to do that, and they don't get kicked out of the state, and they're still able to do it, and everybody, it's like price fixing. That's exactly what happened at the hurricane.
We're gonna start at 3 minutes, Bobby. It's 6:25.
If we had any loss in 2024,
Right.
we made 200
Right.
and it was given away. If we didn't have any commercial, let's just say, and you get $200,000 worth of damage, we have to be covered benefit. I mean, we have no coverage.
We have no coverage up into $1 million. So let me ask you a question. We have a category 4, category 5. Not only does it do damage to the roof, but parts of the roof can fly off and do some damage to the building itself. During a hurricane, these things happen. So what happens if we have $2 million worth of damage? You're right, we gotta come up with that first $1 million. You wanna pay the other $1 million too? You wanna pay that out of our pocket?
But it's never gonna happen.
Well, look,
You can, we create, $70,000 worth of damage. You cannot keep giving away, you're giving away again, $70,000. And it doesn't make any sense.
Let me just hypothetically say we agree with you, just, I'm not agreeing with you, but hypothetically. What's your answer to the question? We have $1.5 million worth of damage, we have bad storm, we have $1.5 million worth of damage, what are you gonna do?
You're never gonna have it work.
No, let's stop the nonsense.
Just say,
That's not, yeah.
We could be,
Yeah, it was $2 million.
it was.
And that was it.
Remember the building?
That was two
It's
thousand.
figured out, yeah.
Yeah.
Along the balcony, the,
Oh, it was called.
the roof, that thing was concrete, they were totally destroyed. It ripped all the roofing off and everything, that was 2000.
That's what they were did there.
Well, it took 2 years to do it.
Because we lost was the roof.
It was
No,
chopped.
that was much later on this building. That was, no, sir, no, sir.
So I never.
Yeah. Here's the thing. To pay for the insurance premium, to pay for the roof, which was,
It's being.
to pay for the roof. $585,000, I think, am I correct? 65, okay. It was like pulling teeth to get people to pay that, okay? It was like pulling teeth. We didn't really have a big roof. We had a roof that was put up over 18 years ago. Over 18 years ago.
Yeah, it did. So, that's, oh, go ahead, Wayne, I'm
The
sorry.
point I'm making is that it would, if you took 10 years of $65,000, $69,000 and put it away in a savings account, technically you're self-insuring, correct? Isn't that the idea behind what you're talking about? Okay. The rules to self-insure, according to the Florida statutes and according to the law case that you presented that we went through, you can't do it. You can't independently self-insure. Not one single condo can independently self-insure. You've got to be in a pool. It has to be pooled money. It has to be.
Now they should change one. Well, I'm sorry. You know, it's like everybody I call and talk to, I don't know how many calls you make to the insurance commissioner, I don't know how many calls you make to St. Florida, but I talk to them all. And they're saying, we don't know. I'm just saying, until we shake it out a little bit, why do it again? We didn't have to wait to wait for. I'm just saying, don't give away 70,000. Let's shake it out, let's do more.
The idea isn't to give it away, the idea is to get it in place. In case we need it. If that 21 years ago, there was $2 million.
I'm in It's $2 million again, and I'm having that research because I've been here since 2002. In my condo on the 8th floor, when they picked up the roof and laid it over, okay? I was here. And I know that property's been destroyed and I don't know nothing about that. It's not nothing that I know. But it's hard to say it's there, but it's not.
Robbie, your time's up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I've listened to you for a long time. And your opinions are the same. We understand what you think. We understand it thoroughly. And a lot of what you say makes a lot of sense, but it's not something that we can do.
Okay, great, John's question. So how much are you guys willing to pay? No, John. How much are you willing to pay? How are we going? This one.
Well, the last quote we got was for $400,000 and we didn't do it.
I just because it doesn't mean from that on.
We might not get away with not doing it for $400,000 because we were doing a roof. And that qualified us as doing our due diligence and doing the best that we can to get insurance. And we couldn't get it. Now, Scott has researched and there is another condo half a mile from us that got wind insurance for $80,000. What we're looking at is line.
Different, like a minute and a half.
Did you,
I don't think that's admitted. I don't know that you can get an admitted one. Or you can't get an admitted one anywhere here along the route. You can say this.
yeah, admitted is not available. Says, he said, that is my best advice to take it now.
Yeah, but he said it's not taken if it's not admitted.
We can't get it.
No. The liability,
No, I even sent you guys an email from them talking about the difference between admitted and not admitted.
yes, but you can't get admitted insurance.
Wind
here,
insurance.
Wind insurance here. You can get admitted insurance for liability and fire protection here. But you can't get admitted insurance on not just the beach, on this side of the intercoastal. You can't get,
For the company.
if you find one, let us know.
Yes, please do let us know if you find that.
Yeah, call Brown and Brown. I mean, you have a relationship with them, call them up and get them to tell you what the admitted amount of coverage costs here. And they're gonna tell you that you can't get it.
There's a second requirement too, the building has to be fully fire sprinkler, and obviously one.
Well, there's a host of things that go into it. The age of building, number of stories, location, it kind of doesn't end. Underwriting is a, complex thing. You're 69,000 for $19 million a year. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac are good with it. All the major brokerages use this product, every one of them. Assured Partners, that's the guy that took off from Brown and Brown and formed his own national firm. Foundation Risk Partners, Smith and Associates, HIG. I mean, this is not uncommon at all. This is very common.
These other policy companies that are also not rated,
You mean like the Wilshire?
no, the regular, the other rated ones.
Yeah, they have an AM, no, they're reinsurers. See, here's the thing, the reinsurance is by AM Best companies. And again, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, who scrutinize everything, don't have a problem with this product. I've had this product out there for a couple of years now, not a problem whatsoever.
And if I could, when the first Fannie Mae Freddie Mac issue, if it's not, I mean, I don't mean to sound like a school teacher, you know, what it is their quality of insurance is acceptable for companies like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac doing mortgages. Yeah, so the government authorized mortgages are willing to accept from a line that's an insurer. The well,
Well, you probably accept pretty much any credit that's insured and like your policies. Doing the requirement guidelines on a mortgage lending paper. That we would say, I mean, you point for some of them, but you guys have to worry about what kind of, that they have. And what to do is we can show that they do have what they don't have.
Oh, wait, we have one more comment.
Yeah. Is there a grant out there we can get it? Because I think we talked about it one time at our meeting. Is there any grants that can help us out? Out there to get it, that way? I know you haven't really got out there with them. I thought we talked about grants before for the roof. The roof, yeah, maybe there, but we lost that money. We can get everybody. But then, there's a little next, right?
You dropped the ball. I told him when everything about my part state, and if you turned it over, y'all turned it over to the attorneys to do that. Do it yourself. Maybe it's a deadline. I'm calling, it's gonna get back up again, either June or July, but Rick was gonna go, and he says, I'll do it myself before he retires. He was gonna take the lead with the thing and see if we could get it. We're not gonna get anything on the roof now, because it's plainly stated, you cannot start the roof. If you do, it's not important. Yeah, the windows and everything, I don't know about that, he brought it to us. But there's a part that we may qualify for, but somebody gotta take the lead on it and do it. And I give it to Mark Bigelow plenty of time, and he's still on it, and he gave it to the attorneys, which would cost us $500 an hour to monitor it. And they waited 2 weeks, and it's when they turned it in, it's all of them was gone.
Why do we need it this year?
Because we were lucky last year,
Lucky from home.
lucky from Mother Nature.
And so we didn't, so the bylaws didn't come into play and the state didn't come into play. We were just.
Doing due diligence to be able to get insurance that we could afford by getting a new
Well,
roof.
now we come up with a report.
We could not get.
We couldn't get coverage with the
Last year.
The old rule prevented us from. No, that is true. That's why citizens.
So Mark called and you get a quote at $250,000, okay? That's what really concerned me, because you're ready to get a $250,000 assessment in 2024 in February. And that's what I'm talking the thing and said, hey, this is crazy. What are we doing?
We chose not to do it. What do you do? Because we're waiting until the time is done.
Like, gosh, it was like a risk. Yeah.
Prior hurricanes.
It's a big risk for the liability of this place. If we would have had a hurricane season that would have ripped this place apart and had absolutely no coverage, we still had to pay.
They had to do over $1 million worth of damage, and we would have to pay the first $1 million anyway.
You know, I don't want to tell you how to spend the money, but I'm going to say this. Every year I write out $2,000 for car insurance. And I say, thank God I don't have to make a claim. You know what? This is another way too. And you know what? My health coverage, health insurance, I pay regularly. And you know what? I'm not sick. I'm here tonight. And then I'll tell you what, the life insurance,
You know the future, though, when you're covering an asset, you're trying to cover everything down the road. You're paying.
this is for the money that you, we have a storm. It's gonna get fixed. If we have a category storm that does more than a
If we
million,
have a $2 million storm here, what are we gonna do?
you know what? We're gonna pay the first million and the $69,000 of coverage is gonna pick up the other.
We have an assessment coming up for $1 million. And we just put $550,000 on the roof. And then we replace it again, we still have no coverage because we don't. What you need to do is just put this off until the end of the year. And let's get this thing set. Put the screen. I mean,
How can, there's no way that putting it off can
change like all the signature, all of the name.
it's just, it's what we do, we'll get it back. I think it's valuable. No, I'm gonna say, don't do it this year. You know, worry about it. It was right there. This is how we're going to be for her about Stephen John.
talking over you. Go ahead, Scott.
Well, you are 140. because it's like, now, I don't want to say, more money, all the way, it's like, getting more.
If you get the bylaws, you get the bylaws changed, which Scott just put you in charge of, and you have that done by next year, this time. And you have to get wind insurance next year. Would you like to say?
Well, I'll take two quick things. I have something to say, how much are we willing to spend? Again,
70,000.
so you have a number of 4,000, 400,000 to turn it down, we're saying 200,000, so now we know you're willing to spend 200 some thousand dollars on wind insurance every year with the special assessment. We weren't on the board.
Yeah.
What do you think the kids are? The previous board.
Because that was required to have it. And there was nothing else available. That was citizens. It's the bottom of it's the end of the line as far as wind insurance.
R7811. They say wind coverage is not mandatory. They say, in that, I'm looking at that legal case. Yeah.
It was that legal case. Because the insurance as a climate in Florida changes about every 5 years. Insurance companies go away and prices go up. Insurance companies come back and prices go down. It's in constant flux.
There's a lot of other things.
And it says in that case there, economic viability, number 41. Yeah, number 41. It was somebody. We got 30. No, that's a new poll coming out. But, 41, here we go, 30, 40, 41. Applying the principle of pays, that
Yeah,
efforts,
there's a finding.
taking into consideration economic viability of undertaking a course of action of the actor's fault in the course is the actor's fault in the course of action. In the instant case, best efforts does not require that the Carilion Association purchase an insurance policy at any cost. The evidence demonstrates that the Carilion Association did not have sufficient financial resources to purchase the casualty insurance and windstorm coverage. However, the department contends that the Carilion Association failure to have sufficient financial resources was its own fault. So in other words, what that case is saying is that they didn't prepare to have enough resources to cover for the cost of the insurance. So it's the association's problem, okay? It becomes back to the association, that comes back to all of us. I'm not an attorney, I don't practice. But the association and the state work in court together, and the association won. The court's view was best efforts does not require the association to purchase at any cost. We're paying double. We did, how many years ago was that? 5 years ago, before we had a rash.
Times with the deductible, not just more than double. 25% more than 5 times the deductible.
The deductible was,
1%,
okay.
and then it's 5%.
Well, it's not like they're bringing a policy that's, just gonna ram it to us. It's the same policy that's. In other words, in our best effort, this is the best effort we have. And I said, I'm not going to tell you how to spend the money, but I'm looking at, I know what I pay for it. I pay 1.5% personally. My cost of anything we do here because of my square footage is 1.5%. This was going to cost me less than $1,000. Considerably less than my auto insurance, considerably less than other things. And I know that if we have a storm and it's a bad storm and it does significant damage, I feel confident that it's going to get rebuilt. And when I said to you that it was like pulling teeth to get people to pay the roof assessment, wow, imagine we have another storm and it rips off the roof.
Well, let me ask you this. If you feel confident that if we have $2 million of damage to an company who's underfunded, and they're going to bring $2 million damage, go to the building extra, you have them around them, treat everybody else that they currently, have We have even the policy to pay after 9 hours of a call.
I think if you move the balance sheet.
Like-
Company, you have good idea.
You can just read the policy. Will we agree something we have to read the policy to again?
You're- see, what are you looking for in the policy? There are no exclusions. It's windstorm policy.
What it is,
That's.
Alright.
Windstorm and hurricane.
if it's a hurricane, it's 5%, if it's a tornado, it's 1%. If it's a tropical storm, it's 1%.
How is hurricane and wind defined in this policy?
Anytime a hurricane comes within the box of Florida, it will be a hurricane.
With the hand.
Yeah, it will be, it will be a hurricane.
Where your policy doesn't say that.
I don't know what page exactly, but that's a wind policy for hurricane and all other wind.
Well, I've got an email for one policy that was 72 pages and another one that was 65 pages, I think. I read them until my eyes fell out, but I didn't finish them. And I didn't see exclusions. A wind policy.
It's pretty simple. It follows Florida statutes. So what that means is that if we have a loss here, you're responsible, and the policy responds according to the statute. Exterior, which is the windows, the balconies, roof, anything outside up to and including the drywall, the association is responsible for. That's what your appraisal built off of. That's what the policy is designed to.
Is it safe with the garages in that policy?
Well, the garages are, those are different. Those are fully, covered because there's not a unit inside them.
I don't know if they were, each individual owner is responsible for their windows and doors.
Florida statute 718 supersedes any bylaws. So down the street at Horizon, we had a $4.3 million loss. How did that happen? Well, that was from Ian, and that was a result of windows. Windows are very expensive, extremely expensive. You talk about a roof being, $500,000-$600,000. When you start having windows impacted, triple. If you have enough windows impacted, and they did.
Well, these flags are at least $10,000 each. I know, but let's put them in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we think.
Yeah. It's a big deal. And, I think about that board, if they decided to have not gone without wind insurance, what that could have done to them personally. You step up on a board, it's a big deal. You guys probably know this after what you've been through. You got education. I'm not an attorney, but you have education you're required to take. There's personal liability related to what you're doing. And I don't know any directors and officers company that would defend a board who knowingly and willingly decided against purchasing wind insurance under these circumstances. That'd be my take.
Next to the policy, we can't just go off of what it's saying, right? Because there is the order of liability, it's what is written in the actual policy. So before anything is agreed or paid, that policy needs to be read to make sure it does include all of our buildings. It does say that it has garages. It has 128, it says 124 on the page. And everything else that needs to be said in that policy.
You're right, Paula. Once we have a written policy, I will read it all.
I provided my policy to everyone, including Paul.
I see how the definition page for the, we're not going to see, there was one thing that were legal. With no definition page.
That's the policy.
And it's not a difference. Do we need to refund everybody cancel the policy?
No. And please understand that is absolutely normal. What this is it prevents people from buying a policy June 1st and then canceling it December 1st. Just like your flood, you just can't go, take your flood out during June first, cancel it December first. Restrictions against that, you just can't do it.
Tammy?
If you do end up doing that, so I think it's right. So we're gonna have to set that fee every year, and like these people that live here are mostly on a budget, like, people like, how do they afford all this? Like, they only have a certain income every month, and going forward, is it gonna be an every year thing? And for years and years, the assessment fee for this insurance?
Well, yeah, and it's right. Well, when you say an assessment, the reality of it is, for the average resident here, it's probably less than $650 additional per year. Okay, $650.
And if they raise the price again and again and again, then
We have to come back, we have to come back and visit it. We just have to.
These are 1 year deals, in Florida especially. I know what you're saying, but it's really year to year.
How are we paying for this one?
We can discuss. And you're saying that some people.
It's $70
The cost, I don't know what your electric bill just went up, I know I did. And I don't feel like this month than I was previously, the electric bill went up. I think if I don't pay it, FPL, it turns it off. I mean, there's a cost, so look at
the other thing here is we didn't pay in 2024. I'm just saying, rate and limit research and financial plans. You're not going to be in food and so forth, and I don't think you're making rest on the students. Because you said before that we can't get, people can't step on because of the board council won't give us. Well, I found a mortgage company that will.
Most of the time when people are shopping for a new place, they have a pre-approval with their own lender. And you're saying, well, tell them to come here and we'll get them a lender. We can't do that. They
Required. But we have 3 people that will guarantee mortgages for these properties if you qualify. We can say that, you don't have to give them 100, but we're gonna say, hey, do you want us to pay $100,000 a year and keep raising your maintenance fee? Or do you want us to say, hey, we have 3 that will satisfy people for this time of year? I mean, there's a lot of things you can have, but there's no way to tell them that.
Well, but I'm just having a feeling if we had understanding, people in their units are gonna have damage, and then they're not gonna fix their damage, and then I'm gonna have leaks. I just think this whole thing's a mess if we don't have something to cover.
a structure for it.
Yes, yes.
Well, it's still waiting cover where there's never just back in. And then the individual,
We have no coverage. We're gonna be struggling. I mean, if it lasts that,
Mike,
we're taking $70,000.
Bob, Mike, you like to say something there?
I understand you not.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave you with this. Every day, I'm in this space, I'm sure. Any customers. No less than 200 condominium associations in their program. I can name you 2 associations that do not have women insurance. You're one of them. The other one is in Flagler, and it's run by a president that's 90 years old that runs it like an iron fist. And I don't think he really cares what happened. That's my take. I don't think he cares. He's like 90. Yeah, whatever. But you're one of 2. I mean, I'm not trying to those are facts. I don't think those other 998 are that stupid. I think they're actually doing the best they can with what they have, take it year to year, and that's it. It's a year to year. If you can find a way to finance it, make it work, you should. You can't, then something's got to change if you can't do it, because you're in the minority big time, huge.
Well, we got a very unique building here, you know, we have the computers. And, you know,
Did you wanna add something, Mark?
Yeah, just, here's the rough math. For what we're doing. Um, we have in the works. A new policy for liability. A new policy for X-Wind, which is the fire, mechanical and all that kind of stuff. We were going to get last month, it'd be a little bit less now, it was $49,000. You apply that to, we picked up the wind at 69, it's a difference of 20,000. What then happens, since we're in the middle of the year, well, we're in June now, is that this policy floats from this year to next year. And any adjustments that need to be made for the 20,000 can be in next year's operating budget. I don't think it's gonna be much more than that, because we're realizing the savings of if we get these two new policies, for liability and X-Wind, we'll be realizing these savings through the first 5 months of next year. So there is no need for a special assessment. We can do as we normally do. We get a loan against reserves. And as we have done the past 3 years, we pay it off month by month and it becomes fully prepaid back at the end of the year. That'd be the same philosophy we'd be doing here.
$70,000, even though there's no coverage.
Here's what I came up with.
More than $1 million worth of these difference.
This is what we are gonna be paying with the new policies. It's 177,000 some odd change a year. The current budget is for 128. We still have a difference of there.
This doesn't include any of the.
It doesn't care about the refund. That is including the refund because that's how much after the refund that you'll be paying. This is after the refund. Even with the refund, this is still how much you're paying for a year is 177 in total with the rent.
This is, we were quoted this for 4,000 for property, which is, they call X-Men, but it's property.
Right, it's the new.
That's what we were quoted for the new policy.
Right.
An estimated 40 or $45,000 in refunds coming back.
Oh, because they overpaid. So they're still, even when they're paying, they're still for the matter.
All right, I have to thank Carly for the number here, so Kumar. Hi. Us how to pay it later, after we decide whether we're gonna get it or not. Let's have her go.
As of now, remember, the movie here, they did announce informal poll 14 owners, and none of them wanted the wind insurance. So anyway, we can let the owners here vote.
So you're here to decide tonight.
Need to rush this thing. There is no need. We just have to be telling from the president, and you can get it for 30 days.
Well, okay, let's put it, don't put words in my mouth. I said that we postponed the liability and the property insurance for 30 days. For 30 days.
And we had.
And that was it, not the. This didn't have to be a members meeting to do this. Didn't have to be a members meeting.
So you can make that decision like you did in 2023, 270,000 with no vote. Just do it.
That is not just.
There was a vote for the board.
Well, I'm just saying, you basically have
Obligation to have the board.
That's what we were elected for, to make
to
decisions.
make a rational decision. Good.
We're gonna have the vote.
The board here has an insurance committee that we appoint for them to give us a recommendation.
For them to give us facts, and they did a good job. They did a lot of research and we.
I think we should follow their recommendation.
Well, then you vote no.
Okay, I move to lay a motion on the table.
You already have a motion over the table. It's been seconded and discussed. The only thing you can do now is call for a vote.
I move to postpone indefinitely.
We already have a motion.
Well, this is,
Yes, on the motion.
wait a minute, point of order.
Okay.
I am allowed to make, supplemental motions on the motion, and my motion, we do this first.
All right, go ahead and tell us, because we have it.
Motion, it has to be seconded.
Yeah,
I can speak it into the record.
okay.
All agree with me. Okay, I move to postpone indefinitely. I move to refer to committee. I move to postpone the motion until the next meeting. Man,
Any seconds? Okay, well, thank you for your considered thoughts on it.
thank you.
And now we'll vote. Would you like to repeat your motion, Scott?
Next one. I make a motion that we go forward with Karen through front line and per the bylaw.
Oh, good job, you remembered it, word for word.
Well, I changed that last, yeah, if you could change that last word to condo docs, and it kind of covers everything.
Condo, bylaw.
Declaration of condominium.
Okay.
Decorate.
Seconded.
It was seconded,
Seconded.
and, but.
No, we just had an hour. This is
Can you
different.
call for a vote?
Uh,
I vote yes.
Yes. No.
Okay,
Yes.
3 yes and 1 no.
yes, and John objects to it. The motion is passed. So,
Your assessment, so we don't, we think you're getting that, you know, they keep people at it, well, another assessment's gonna be.
Well, I'm gonna try to be as diplomatic as I can, right? There's a cost, no matter where you live. And if you live at the beach, you have considerably more environmental issues to deal with than you do if you live in Lakeland or Ocala. You have totally different, and the cost of living at the beach, this is the cover charge. This is a guy who's in business, as is Brown and Brown and the other group that we talked about. This is the business that they're in. And all of us that live along the seashore have to deal with this on a regular basis. We see expenses going up in areas that other places don't. We don't have to have earthquake insurance here. We don't have sinkhole insurance here. There's no reason for it. You do have to have flood insurance. You could not have flood insurance if you lived here. If you didn't, you have absolutely no coverage. Yet, you can go inland a bit, and there are certain spots on the other side of the intercoastal that require flood insurance, and some that don't. But, and I really don't like saying it like this, because I think we're privileged to be able to be here. And that is a privilege for all of us, because we choose to be here and we're able to be here. But if we can't, if your budget is such that you had to cut back because of the cost of eggs, if you had to deal with that kind of stuff, You chose to eat less eggs, or you chose to stop eating eggs, or you choose to live here and pay what it costs to live here, or you have to consider the possibility of eggs.
I don't mind paying for cost of things, but the cost of things is actually going to benefit people. They're actually going to do something. When we talk about, you pay for your cost of your car insurance. Well, if you do get an accident, your car insurance is going to cover you. Your car insurance is going to be such a high deductible that you're never going to see a penny again.
To this, you're right, but it is gonna have a deductible, and it might only be $1,000. But my car's not worth $19 million, it's worth $40,000. This is.
You benefit from it. This is something we're not going to see a
You
benefit from.
got insurance to protect an estimate, but if you pay a small percentage. You know, it's not something is.
Next statement. That's 1 year, well, if I was born in 43 instead of 33, I'd only be 80. But I'm tired of listening to all this, what if this happened years ago, we did this, it was a mistake. If it's a mistake, we're better for a year, next year, we can change it. Am I correct? It's only tied in for our life.
That's correct.
Absolutely correct. Thank you.
Done.
Alright, so
Need the motion to adjourn?
we need to set a date for the next meeting.
Can we calm down?
Yeah, so today's June 4th. And we tabled the other,
Well, we tabled the other one for 30 days, because Brown and Brown. Right, we're talking about, uh, showing us what they have to offer with regard to liability and the property. And that's what we said we were gonna take it for 30 days. And I gave you 30 days from the previous meeting, so what was that? 29, yeah, so 29. So our next meeting is the 29th.
okay, 29th of, oh wait, is that a Thursday? Or Wednesday?
The 29th.
How did it feel with you?
Yeah, we don't have to take any more. Yeah,
Okay, June 29th is the.
okay, well, that's not the right day.
This is the month as.
Right, so the last one was on,
June 29th. No, I'm sorry.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
it was May 29th?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're pushed into the 4th of July weekend. And some people probably take the. Things after that. Third, fourth, and fifth.
June 25th is Wednesday. 4 weeks from our,
And it's 29 or days and Wednesday.
we could,
I mean, the bingo days are Wednesday. Is there a reason why we still don't?
He changed him to Thursday.
I didn't know.
So we need to kind of stay away from.
Yeah.
and you in fear that. Yeah.
They say it from a Wednesday to a Thursday, so within.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
All right, so June 25th.
The 20. No, I think I'll be back on the 25th. At the beginning of July,
Well, with that,
I'm here on the 25th, I'm not here on. It is on. Friday. So I want to hear from the second quarter.
so you want to go into survive?
Get it? Is that possible?
First Wednesday outside of the July weekend.
July 9th?
Wednesday, July 9th.
That's all right.
Yes.
We need to work on.
Okay. The next meeting is a member meeting and it'll be on Wednesday, July 9th at 6 o'clock. Okay. Thank you.
And larger. But the top of it. We. I have a best place there, it's you can place it with that, you know, just flat, the vapor, we can take it here. Here comes.
Signing off.
Hi. Turn it off now.
See you later. All right, bye.
Bye.